Ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I'll be showing you guys how to play I'll Take Care of You by Tyler, the Creator on piano. This is going to be my first out of a couple of Don't Tap the Glass piano tutorials, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. If you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe as always. But for now, let's get right into the video. We're going to have a great time over here. Awesome, guys. Before we do anything else, I would like you all to check out my cover of this song just so you can get kind of a feel of what it's supposed to be sounding like on the piano. It's a little bit different of an interpretation from the actual song, but it still sounds a lot like what it's supposed to sound like. So I would take a listen to my cover first and then watch this video over again. But yeah, let's get into what's going on here. So the very first thing we're going to be starting out with is this right hand melody right here that we have this like kind of synth line intro, and I transcribed it as this E major 9 chord. It's a really cool chord right there. It's really simplistic. There's not really much going on to it, just this big chord. And the way I played it was an arpeggiation with my right hand, and it's just a melody line that does this. Pretty simple. You can play that all with one hand right there as long as your fingers are big enough. And if they're not, you can always rock your hand kind of this way. See how I'm kind of rocking my hand over? It's a little bit of a stretch, but I think it's very manageable for most piano players. So we're going to open up with that line 2 times. Just like that, and it's very simple right there. During that, in your left hand, you can play like a low E over here, like an octave E. Just to add a little bit of flavor or quality to it, but in my cover, I left it very open. Very simple, not too much going on there. And then the second part I played was this line right here. Just like that. So it's basically you're swapping between those two parts right there, right after one another, each being played 2 times. So it sounds something like this. Kind of like that. I messed up a note right here. Kind of fat-fingered a little bit, but you get the idea right there. Again, we're just playing these 2 lines. Just like that, and it's pretty simplistic. The rhythm's pretty simple. It starts to get a little bit more complicated as we progress, but once you have that right hand down, you really have the essence of the melody down for that intro part. Sweet. So for the second part of this, we're adding in our octave right here, and what an octave is you're playing something all the way up here, now down here. Okay, pretty simplistic, not too much going on there. My hands are going to look a little bit weird because there's a tripod in front of me, but normally you'd have a little bit wider range of motion here, so it would look a little bit more natural, but let's just look at the notes that we are playing here. So it's going to be the exact same thing we started for our intro, except now with our left hand. And you're just extending that thumb onwards. That's the best way I could feel it out. Again, I have big enough hands to make that possible, but kind of just focus on that same rocking motion right there. It's really important to get that kind of habit in while we're playing these bigger arpeggiations on piano. So let's watch these 2 hands in sync right now. Now, if that's a little bit difficult for you, what you can always do is just add in this. That way you're only playing 1 note at a time, and it's a lot less complicated. It's still sounding about the same, but if you're really trying to go for the essence of the song, I think it being octaved in both hands makes a big difference. So trying to practice that left hand mobility while having that right hand go at the same time, even if it is a little bit difficult, is really essential when you are trying to learn new songs on the piano. And then once again, we are switching down to this other chord. And we're playing both of those 2 times again, okay? So just like we did for our first run through, right? We are also adding in now both hands. And this might take a little bit of time to get used to, again, being able to move in both hands at the same time. It's not the easiest thing ever, but once again, with a little bit of practice, I think you guys definitely got this. So what we're going to be doing is a short recap from the very beginning and then working our way forward. So let's start at the very beginning. That kind of thing right there. And again, I messed up my pinky over here. My line of sight's a little bit blocked by my microphone and tripod. Not an excuse. It's an excuse. Never mind. But that's what we got going on right there. And, you know, it's pretty simplistic that we have for that intro. It's a very pretty chord progression we got going on there. There's not too much going on. Let's move on forward a little bit to our melody that we are playing here. And this melody is really, really pretty here. We are starting on this F sharp up here. And then we're going down to this E flat. It's just between these two notes right here. While playing in our left hand this. Really practice that line, really get that down, really making sure that you feel what's going on there. It's very important to have that kind of line down right there. That's going to be really helpful in understanding the piece and understanding rhythms in general. So really practice that section right there. And what I added in there is the "I'll take care of you" part, which is this very simple line we got. Right, you can either go to that E. I think I went to the F sharp in my cover, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I'll take care of you. Just like that. So let's look at this one more time. Just like that, while playing that in your left hand. So let's play this a little bit slower. We have that line in our left hand. That kind of thing right there, and of course you'll play it a lot cleaner than I am right now, but it's just that kind of idea of getting those two rhythms together. So what I'm going to be doing right now is giving a little recap from the start up to that point as it would be played on the piano. So let's listen to this right here. Here's a little recap. It's just that kind of idea right there, and you can play that through as many times as you want, and that's really all there is to our entire intro section. That's basically the first minute of the song covered, and if you have any questions about any of those parts, wow, I would suggest going back in the video and rewatching what I was doing right there, and make sure to take it slow, especially when we're learning different sections like this. It's really important to practice very slowly and calculated, and making sure you're being precise with the notes. So that's all that's going on right there. After that kind of second or third time through, what I did in my left hand was this octave bass thing, doing this, and all that is this B, A flat, G flat, E. Wow, holy crap. And all that is right here is this B, and all that is right here is this B, A flat, G flat, E. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And I played as an octave, so. And during that section, I'm kind of just improving. don't know, something like that. I'm kind of just throwing stuff at the wall right now. But if you watch my cover, you can see during that section, I'm really just improving all the way up until about the, I guess, 2-minute mark, where I go back to our original melody, and just play that section over again. In the actual song, that's kind of what goes on. There's this big like intermission, like dance break sequence that has a lot of like drum beat and rapping to it. And if you want to play like kind of beat to it, these are the kind of chords you got going on right here. It's just this E major 9. And then I would call this a E flat, E minor 7 flat 5, E flat minor 7 flat 5, something like that. But you just got those two chords going on right there, just exchanging twos right there. And it's just this really pretty sequence. I really love the chord progressions that Tyler's used throughout these albums, and it's been fantastic to be able to transcribe and play them on piano. But yeah, that's really all there is to it. I know that there isn't that much different substance to the song, I guess I would say, on piano, but it's really important that we have that intro synth line down and then everything else that's going on in the middle there. And that's all there is to it. I really hope that this was a helpful video for you guys. Again, I would really recommend checking out my cover first if you want to understand the kind of interpretation that I had on this. But that all being said, I hope you guys have a fun time playing this. If you have any questions or concerns or anything like that, or songs that you want to hear covered next, or any more tutorials, make sure to let me know down in the comments. I'm always looking around to see what you guys have to say. You guys are fantastic, and I hope you are having a wonderful day. Thank you guys.